And as we get our meeting put together tonight, I was reminded of a gentleman who has been a hockey nut, a hockey fan, a hockey dad, and he's not doing real good right now. But he made it to tonight's game, and he was so grateful that he was able to watch the Spuds as they beat Roseau tonight. We would like to ask all of you, when you have a moment, just to take a second and remember Bob Kraft and send along your blessings. His son Ryan is here tonight, and we know how important it is for Bob Kraft to be a part of this hockey community. As we get our program underway, we're going to hear from some coaches. We're going to hear and see some players from the past. And before we get started, I know that most of you and a lot of you here tonight, I know you go to Bell State Bank right up the street here. Somebody works here? But I was in the bank yesterday afternoon getting some business taken care of, and I was sitting there waiting, and I noticed that the receptionist was there looking and taking care of some things, and her name was Patty. Last name was Whack. Patty Whack. So as she's sitting there and waiting for business to come into the door, a frog walks in. She looks at him kind of funny, and she says, "Can I help you?" He says, "I'm here to get a loan. I'd like to buy a car." Oh, she said, "Can I help you with your name?" He says, "My name is Kermit." And she says, "Well, I better talk to my boss." So she goes in and sees Bob. Says, "We've got a frog out here that would like to have a loan to buy a car." And he said, "Well, what's his name?" He says, "His name is Kermit." And she said, "Oh, isn't that pretty?" She looked at a little elephant that was on his desk, and she said, "Isn't that pretty?" And he said, "What is that?" "Well," he said, "I'll tell you what, that's a knick-knack, Paddywhack. Give the frog a loan. His old man's a rolling stone." One of the first things we want to tend to tonight is that we had a chance today to celebrate a long time of service in the girls' hockey program. And as we read this little proclamation, John Schultz, please stand. And if you wouldn't mind, even if you would make your way forward. I know this is not your favorite thing to do, but John, I found you. Work your way over here. Please welcome John Schultz. In conjunction with Moorhead Hockey's celebration of 50 years, we would like to recognize Mr. Schultz's commitment to the youth of Moorhead. In the fall of 1968, fresh out of college from Concordia, Schultz started coaching the game of hockey in Moorhead for the park board. Games and practices were held outside, and they consisted of various teams organized throughout their neighborhood schools. Schultz coached multiple teams of different age levels throughout this time. After a number of years of park board hockey and teaching junior high science, John left Moorhead, and he served our country in Vietnam. He served admirably, and with high recognition for 18 months, he was awarded the Purple Heart. He was also awarded the Bronze Star and an Army Commendation Medal for valor during this time. He missed 1 year of hockey while serving overseas. Upon his return, the Moorhead Blue Line Club had been formed. John would start his years of traveling all across Minnesota as the head Bantam B coach. He did this for 46 years before taking on the role of head Pee Wee coach. His total time served is 46 years of the newly formed Moorhead Youth Hockey Association. He handled this job for 19 years. In one 8-year stretch, Schultz's teams won more than 30 games each year and were district champions 5 times. With the creation of a high school girls hockey team in 1995 and 96, John took his talents to the high school level. Serving under 4 head coaches, he has been the only assistant the program has ever had. Coach John Schultz has seen every Moorhead girls high school game over the past 20 years. This season marks the 46th year of John's coaching tenure. During those years, he has been behind the bench for nearly 1,200 games. More importantly than that, his love of hockey, his work ethic, and commitment to kids has left an indelible mark on all of those who know him. Moorhead Hockey and the kids who have played Spuds hockey have been well served because of people like John Schultz. And it is that with that, we say thank you and congratulations for your service. John may not know this, but one of the first players that he had on his team was my daughter, Tammy. She decided, unbeknownst to us, that she would like to learn how to play hockey. She'd hardly ever skated before, but she thought hockey would be a good idea. So she goes out for practice, and the first day she takes a look across at who the assistant coach was going to be. And it was someone from school that had kind of caught her eye. And they had exchanged smiles more than once. She came home after that first day of practice and says, "I'm quitting hockey. I can't have him see me fall." That's my daughter, who later married this guy, and I've got 2 grandkids as a result. So Tammy, you did good. The introduction of our next team is from the 1992 team, first ever to reach state tournament competition from Moorhead. We would like to have Jeff Miller come forward. He was the public address announcer for that team, and he will introduce, as he did some 20 plus years ago. The voice is still good. Here's Jeff Miller.
Thank you. I want to personally thank the 92 team for asking me to do this. It's an honor. I was pretty fired up when you guys won that section championship, and we'll do the best we can tonight. But before we do that, there's a gentleman here that I sat in the penalty box for about 20 years, and unbeknownst to a lot of you guys, we critiqued you a lot. And Pebbles was not very nice sometimes at the critiques. I mean, he would say, "Cullen, get his ass off the ice." Jesus Christ, like, he's starting in the net tonight? I didn't make the lineup, Pebs. Has Terry been drinking again? Or the best ones, when the kid gets in the penalty box, he'd look over at the kid and say, "Did you do it?" The kid would say, "No, you're lying. We saw it." So we had a good time. The best story I got to tell you, though, and Peb, stand up, will you? Let's give Pebbles a round of applause. Moorhead was playing War Road. Wyatt Smith was the captain or junior for War Road that year, if you remember that name. Wyatt got a penalty during the game. Comes in, didn't think he should have got the penalty. Throws his stick in, slams the door, stands up. Well, we have a rule, you can't stand up when you have a penalty and when you're in the penalty box, you got to sit down. So Pebbles, in his nice way, just said, "Son, you got to sit down." Whatever. Pebbles looks at me and goes, "What the hell?" I don't know. "Hey, you didn't hear what I said. You got to sit down." "Shut up, you fat ass." Pebbles looks at me and goes, "Well, you are." I said, "Gee." And he goes, "I want those referees over here right now." The game was going on now. I said, "Pebs, let's just wait for the whistle." No, God damn it. He reached across me. He hit the horn. Just bam, bam, bam. And stops play. Referee comes over, looks at me, and I'm going, I don't know. And Pebbles gets up to that little hole in the window, looks at him and says, either he goes or we go. You make the call. He walked over, opened the door, and said, son, I guess you're out of here. And the kid was kicked out of the game. Now, a great sidebar to that story, the next year I referee high school football. The next year I'm in Breckenridge refereeing a high school football game. Wyatt Smith is a captain for the War Road team. They're playing Breckenridge. We come out, do the handshakes, flip the coin. Good luck, gentlemen. Wyatt comes up to me. How do I know you? I said, we don't need to talk about that, Wyatt. He goes, no, do you come up fishing a lot to War Road or what? I said, nope. He goes, I know you somehow. I said, you remember that hockey game in Moorhead last year? Oh, we don't need to talk about that. I said, you got that right. So that's a great story. But Pebbles always was your favorite fan. He always did the best for you guys, and it was a good time. All right, I haven't announced a hockey game for many years, so bear with me. You guys got to come up here now when I announce you. We're going to do it just like the starting lineups or just like a section championship game, okay? So you got to get your butts up here. Some of you might be old and a little fat, but get on up here. All right, here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Moorhead Marriott Inn for tonight's Section 8 AA Championship Team Recognition. Tonight we have the 1992 Moorhead Spuds. Introducing your team, a sophomore in the nets, number 1, Jeremy Gregoire. Jeremy, come on. Not here? There he is. How's your golf game? Any better? Not really. At 1 forward position, a senior, number 2, Ryan Kappas. Cappy here? You here? No. Starting at 1 defensive position is a sophomore, number 3, Rob Grammer. Starting at a forward, a senior, number 4, Thad Stafford. You're lucky you had all these sophomores around you. Starting at 1 forward position, a sophomore, number 5, Josh Arnold. Golf game any better? Starting at a defensive position, a junior, number 6, Justin Wagner. How's life, Wags?
Doing good, Joe.
Starting at a forward position, number 7, Steve DiFiore. Steven, you haven't missed many meals, have you? Yeah, well, you know. I learned from the best, Pebbles. Starting at a forward position, a junior, number 8, Jim Jacobson. Starting at a defensive position, a sophomore, number 10, Billy Upgrant. You're a 10th grade, we could call you Billy. Starting at a defensive position, a senior, number 11, Rhett Marston. There's another one that hasn't missed the trough too much. Hey, I'm a little older. Starting at a forward, a junior, number 12, Eric Steen. Not here? Okay. Well, we got to announce him. A freshman defenseman, number 13, Joel Jameson. Starting at a forward, a junior, number 14, B.J. Knutson. Brett Knutson. B.J. always said he was better. Yeah. That's my bad.
You're not going to say anything about
No, you look great. A forward, a sophomore, number 15, John Haberlack. Donnie is?
Yeah, Donnie.
Donnie is, yeah, I saw Donnie. Starting a forward, a junior, number 16, Greg Salvavo. Salvi, you look pretty good. He's a baseball guy. Starting at a forward position, a senior, number 17, Jason Blake. Jason's sucking her in. He's going. Oh, this is fun. A defenseman, senior, number 18, Kurt Dwyer. Not here. You upperclassmen had a lot of sophomores around you. That's pretty cool. That's why you were good, is right, yeah. A forward, sophomore, number 19, Ryan Kraft. Untuck the shirt, Crafty, that a boy.
You have to these days, right?
A forward, a junior, number 20, Louis Paquin. Louis hasn't changed.
He's gotten a little shorter. I think he's
Shrunk a little bit?
Yeah, I'm down from 5'6" to 5'5" now. That's great.
A goaltender, sophomore, number 30, Troy Brecky. Brecky's lost weight.
Yeah, he has. There he goes.
I don't know what number he was.
Number 10. 10, just announce it. Junior defense.
The junior defenseman, number 10, Dan Frisch. That's right, he was the student manager, I forgot. He was injured. Danny was injured during the season, and
Otherwise, we would have won.
he looks like he's still injured.
Otherwise, we would have beat Jefferson.
Yeah, we would have won the state title, buddy.
It's my fault.
Assistant coach Terry Shercliffe. And your head coach of your Moorhead Spuds, Terry Cullen.
The architect.
Hey, buddy. Cully, you gonna talk? All right. That was fun. Thanks a lot, folks, for letting me do that. I really enjoyed this group of guys. Pebbles and I just loved Moorhead Hockey. We were there every night through the thick and the thin, and we had a lot of thick. It was a lot of fun, and Pebbles taught these boys a lot about life. And I wasn't part of a lot of their teaching because Pebbles taught them some bad things about life, but so don't blame me. All in good, but Terry, Coach Cullen, it's all yours.
It's not a roast? We want a roast.
Yeah, I know it. Not today. Not today. All righty.
I can't leave.
Yeah, you gotta leave.